Jolly good, and on to the last fight, a stoppage in the second round. Help me out here, Terry. Is it Alex Matvienko?
That's the one, Alex Matvienko, with 1T. For a while we were spelling it with 2 T's, but he's not the 1T off now, and I think he's pretty happy about that. He looked pretty good last night as well. After the fight, he said in the first round he was caught in 2 minds about whether he wanted to box or whether he wanted to bang.
He obviously went with the latter then.
Yeah, he settled down right in the second round. He just decided that he was going to just allow his opponent to come in and try countering his opponent, and to be fair, that's exactly what he did. His opponent threw the left hook, matched the whistle and left hook in return and put Davey over, and when Davey got up he was looking at the canvas. The referee Steve Gray asked him a few times if he wanted to continue, but he never gave any answer, any verbal response, and you can't really stop the referee for stopping the fight in that situation, because the fighter looked like he didn't want to carry on.
Grand job, and tell us about the fight that didn't happen last night.
Oh yeah, Danny Harding was 3 pounds over the limit. Bas Carey didn't stick around to negotiate, he left shortly afterwards, so it left Danny in a position where he couldn't get an opponent basically. You can't just pull someone in off the street at literally the 11th hour, so...
You didn't fancy the job yourself?
No, I think Danny had mullen me, to be honest. He's been sparring Carl Johansson lately in Portugal, so he's pretty sharp. He's been out for 11 months since his second win over Chris Pacer. I think he really wanted to fight last night. He's recently switched trainers. He's with Bob Shannon at the moment. Used to be with Nigel Hardman, so it's just one of them where I think he wanted to get out, get the fight with his new trainer under the belt, and then go on to different things. Hopefully the fight with Cook, but unfortunately it wasn't to be.
Thanks for that, Terry. Cracking job. Let's move straight along now to our interview with Gary Lockett, WBU middleweight champion of the world and WBO #1 contender for Kelly Pavlik. So Gary, you've got a fight at Cardiff International Arena on the 22nd of March. How's the training going?
Yeah, training's going really well. Very, very, very hard. We had sprints this morning and then a 5-mile run up through the hills, and then unfortunately I was the one that had to give Enzo Macronelli a bit of a hand with the sparring, because we've got a lack of big guys in our gym. So I did a couple of rounds with Enzo and just to give him a hand, give him a helping hand, and my training's going really well, and I can't wait for the 22nd.
Any word on who the opponent's going to be?
Well, no. They've just said it's an international 10-rounder. I might not get the opponent until say 3 or 4 days before, but if I don't, then it's just a case of being professional and concentrating on my training and make sure that I'm 100%. It doesn't really matter who the opponent is. I mean, I'm thoroughly confident, supremely confident in my ability, and looking forward to bigger and better things.
Now, I wouldn't mind betting that Enzo Calzaghe's gym at the moment has got the most electricity of all the gyms in the country. You've got Joe in the big fight against Bernard Hopkins, obviously Enzo against David Hay, and Gavin Rees defending next month too. Yeah,
it's a great gym to be in. I think there's a great atmosphere. Tony Doherty is the newest member. He's joined from Jim McDonnell, having previously been with Brian Hughes. I think everybody thrives off each other. There's a couple of novice pros there as well. Harry Mars has only had 2 fights, and it's just a great place for him to be, because he's got plenty of good sparring, and I think it's going to bring us all on, because we don't ever have to bring sparring partners in, any one of us, because we've all got each other. Obviously, Joe is head and shoulders above the rest, and he's not treated any different to us. So by Enzo, his dad, he's still put through his paces in exactly the same way. And
Gary, you are WBO mandatory to Kelly Pavlik, who was in action at the weekend. Did you see Pavlik Taylor too, and what did you make of it?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it on the TV. I thought Pavlik improved probably from the first fight, because I think in the first fight he got made a little bit silly by Taylor's speed at times. But he's tough more than anything. I think he's a banger. He's really, really tough. Doesn't give any leeway. I thought he won the fight clearly. He's very rangy. He can obviously bang very, very hard, and I think he's probably one of the more elite fighters in world boxing today.
And did you see anything that you might exploit as is mandatory if the fight were to be made?
Not a lot, really. Not a lot. No, I mean, the way I explain it to people is I have a little look on the internet every now and again, and the people on the internet that know nothing about boxing, the so-called fans that slag me off and say this, that, you know, I could get knocked out early. Yeah, maybe that's the case. You know, maybe it's the case that I come out with the right tactics and pull off a shock like Lloyd Honeygun did years ago. I mean, you know, I don't know, but all I know is that he's no different to anybody else I face. He's got two hands, the same as I have. And what I tell people is I spar Enzo Maccarinelli and I spar Joe Calzaghe. I mean, he hits nowhere near as hard as Enzo, and he's nowhere near as quick as Joe. So I've really got nothing to fear. I mean, as I say, it's a tall order, but I wouldn't be I wouldn't be fearful in any way.
And I hope those people who say you're not up to it on the internet remember that you can bang a bit yourself, can't you?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you know, it's people forget. I mean, there's a lot of fights in my career that I took on short notice. I've not been fit, and when I went to Enzo, I realised I'd never been fit going into a fight. My last two fights, I think I've been fitter than I've ever been, and I've not really had that much time to prepare. For a fight, you know, the magnitude of Kelly Pavlik, I'd be in the gym 12 or 14 weeks. And that's when you'd see the best of me. I've never been in a position where I've been really, really fearful of the opponent, and that I've had, you know, certain training time behind me. So I think, you know, people have not seen anywhere near the best of me. So, you know, when I'm put up against it, that's when you'll see the best of me. My knockout power, you know, I don't really have to talk about that, but Enzo's trying to get the punching in one shot bombs out, and he's trying to, you know, punch in a lot more combinations, a lot more speed. I think that's the way forward for me.
So, the buzz at the moment on the net is that Pavlik's set to defend against Duddy with the Trinidad fight not happening, with Tito not willing to go down in weight. What do you see yourself doing in the interim before, you know, Frank gets a chance to make the fight?
Well, to be honest, I'd really have to sit down and have a chat with Enzo and Frank. I mean, you know, first and foremost, I've got to concentrate on March the 22nd because, you know, whoever it is a potential banana skin in my position. You know,